Okay, this video is put together as just kind of a show how I drill holes in irregular material for handle scales. So I'll do a little bit of an explanation, and hopefully, because I'm not doing the process right now, hopefully the explanation will come through. If it doesn't work, I might have to actually film when I do something. Many of you guys have been following the thread on the pillager. So we have the blade for the pillager here, and we wanted to make some scales for it. And the first step that I always do when I make scales is I make sure my material is large enough, and I drill the holes first so I can get this consistent alignment and everything. And this is kind of more of a closely to finished scale, but this scale actually started out as a piece of this moose palm antler. And if I were to make a scale out of a flat piece of material like this this piece of wood right here, it's flat. You know, I might actually flatten it out a little bit more, but its surfaces will meet up here. And if I lay it on, and I want to drill the holes. You know, I just put the blade over it, clamp everything down, and I can drill the holes, and I can put a pin in each hole to make sure those line up as I drill the next hole, and just clamp it down. Make sure to clamp it down so that the pillager doesn't turn into a whirling blade of death if the drill bit catches. So the challenge, though, is if we want to make scales out of a regular material like this, can't, you know, if I've got this one surface cleaned up and flat, even as these scales are already done, I can't just lay them down, and I can't just lay a blade over them because I want to make sure that these holes are perpendicular. And if they're perpendicular, then they'll be perpendicular for the next side too. And so it's hard to clamp irregular material. So what I've done is I make what is called a drill bridge. I call it a drill bridge. I just thought of this a long time ago when I was working a lot of antler and I wanted to make scales. So what we do, what's easiest to do, you can drill one hole, or you can actually take a piece of material like this Taro Tough or aluminum, anything flat like this, you know, that could be used for scales. And I make the hole pattern, so like this for this knife, I would drill out 3 holes, the hole pattern, so that this would actually work as a scale for this knife. So then, when I have those 3 holes, I can take my irregular material, and so this is a left scale, and so I would take the hole setup, because it would go on the left side of the knife. If those holes are drilled right here, then I have that hole pattern, and I can trace out, you know, maybe the tang shape or whatever like that, or I can clamp this, and I can clamp the scale to it. Okay. So with clamps, everything holds together, and then because I have clearance, I can drop this in my vise, which allows a clearance underneath here, and it makes a drill bridge. So I clamp it down, and these holes will be all the way through. I'll have 3 holes on this side, and everything's clamped together. So when I drill through this hole, or when I go through this hole that's pre-drilled, it's already pre-drilled through the tang, and then I'll actually be cutting the antler material at a perpendicular angle. Hopefully that explains it. A couple things to be considered with is, you know, I've got these holes pre-drilled, and then I try to use my sharpest drill bits when I'm going through something like antler from the back side. Because I don't really have anything backing it up, if I push too hard when I'm getting out the outside, I'll blow out, and it'll, you know, make the hole irregular on that side. So, you know, slowly to get to the other side is the way to go with that, so that you don't, you know, mess up. See, if you want to maintain the texture like this natural texture, and you go do that and it chips it out and stuff, then you've got to blend that finish or work with that. Otherwise, you could just, the drill bit will cut it. Once again, the challenge is, though, you know, seeing the holes from this side. If I want to have this side up, that's challenging, because I might drill in, and then, you know, I have tried before to okay, line everything up with the drill, lock everything down, then put the handle material on, and then go blindly through it. The problem is, with the irregular material, because the drill bit's going to wander on you. It's going to move a little bit unless you've got a really short machine drill bit and a really tight drill press, which this one is not. I can actually use my mill to drill. But you're going to get some wobble, and that's not going to line up with that tang. It's better to go through the tang and through these guides that you make with your drill bridge. So the drill bridge is underneath here, material's under there, drill through the hole all together, and then I still put a pin through all that before I transfer the other hole. With a cross sliding vise or a mill, you can actually rotate to the next hole and make sure it lines up, and then you can drill it. So that's a brief explanation how to drill holes in a regular surface, have them end up exactly where you want them and perpendicular to the tang. And this is for a full tang construction that you're using scales with natural irregular material. You can do the same thing with wood, but obviously wood we can just, a lot of times, because we're not trying to maintain the natural bark of wood most of the time, you just make it flat and drill it like it was a piece of synthetic material. Hopefully this was informative. Hopefully it helps some of you out. This is just how I do some stuff. Some other people may have some other really great ideas that I haven't seen, or that sense. This was just a request by a couple people who've watched previous videos for an explanation. And hopefully that was a thorough enough explanation that you guys can, or gals can reproduce these type of results. That helps me hold, real consistent holes perpendicular to the thing. Everything lines up. The fit and finish will end up much better that way. You don't have to fix anything. Fixing stuff always sacrifices, the chances of ending up at the fit and finish level that you want. So that's my explanation. Hopefully that worked. Thank you.